on
Celine
stage?
Dion is amazing.
Really?
Celine Dion was
Now, is this
amazing.
spoken as a gay man? And
She was so nice. No,
because you want to be
it was
her?
the week after I saw Cher.
Oh,
and
right.
Cher was just very put off. Liza Minnelli was a C word. And
See, I had the opposite experience.
Okay.
I met Liza, and she
I'm sure
she adopted
even the
me.
same thing with Cher. Liza was in a meet and greet where she said, I will meet and greet 30 people. She counted 30 people, and there was probably, I'm not going to exaggerate, 38 people. So when she got to 30, those last 8 people just got attitude from her. And it was so, and they threw me in just because they knew who I was and so she wanted it her way, and she just turned into
How long ago was this?
Last year.
Do you think it was post-surgery? Maybe a little at that pharmacy counter you were talking about?
I don't know. But the thing is, I even have a picture of it. I'll show you on the wall right there. She just was bitter.
I met Liza before she had her hips done.
Yes, I met her years ago, and she was nice then, but this time was a bad experience.
Every doctor that she went, her and her manager, the guy that does her show, said the doctors they go to say you got to take 6 months off. Mm-hmm. And she didn't want to take time off. She wanted to do the surgery.
Here's the picture. She's just bitter. Like, do I have to take this picture?
You're like a handsome Italian guy.
Yeah, you think?
I'm looking at like Joan Rivers. You still have your eye makeup on, and you're like in real life. You
could show him my picture with my idol.
So Liza was a cunt.
Yes.
See, when I met Liza,
I didn't know you could say that word, or I would have said it.
Oh, we could say it. You do say whatever you want. When I met her, she like adopted us.
Yes, I remember the old.
Is it because she's like a star
fucker? The other thing,
and
the old Cher would go out with the show boys at night and go to the gay bars. The new Cher is just over it.
Maybe she's just too old.
And now I had an opposite experience with. You know who I want.
Yeah, I do.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to Liza. What do you think happens? Like, why did she adopt me? And then why is she like shitty at a meeting?
I think she's gone nuts.
But it's only 2 years ago.
You know, like when
she's always been.
Here's
nuts.
the best thing, and maybe she didn't like the fact that I. I was just doing this big campaign for gay marriage, and I said I think it should be legalized. After all, Liza's been doing it for years.
That's very funny. There's you and Diana.
Me and Diana Ross. I was so afraid to meet her because after 30 years of admiration, I would hate her to be what they say.
And how was she?
She was an angel to me.
Really?
And she was engaging in the conversation. And you know how stars are when they're done, they're done. I didn't want her to be done. And she kept talking and talking.
What are the odds? You're wearing a Diana Ross T-shirt, meeting Diana Ross in this photo.
Well, I was at her concert.
But Liza's always been that way. Like she needs like applause to live. Like it's her oxygen. So I'm fascinated that she was rude
horrible.
at a meet and greet.
It was a bad day. I would say all of us are probably all the things people say we are at different days. I'm sure there was a day I was bitchy. I'm sure there was a day I was very nice. You saw me tonight before we did this interview. I was giving Easter baskets to the homeless. There's days I'll do charity. There's days I won't do charity. You know, there's days when I say, I need some time to myself, and people don't realize 20 people call today and say, can you do this, this, this?
So, and for all the straight guys listening right now, you gotta don't tap out on this because this is showbiz. This is like as much showbiz of any interview you've ever listened to on this podcast. It is a man from Long Island that dresses up like a Jewish comedian woman that has been running in Las Vegas longer than anyone in the history of Las Vegas. This is like the sheer tyranny of will that you have. So Celine Dion is she really
Real
nice?
deal
But she seems so nice that it would be like annoying.
Yeah, no, she really was nice.
Like she's on ecstasy all the time. She would just want to pet my arm.
She was incredibly nice,
time.
and she did the meet and greet before the show.
What does she weigh? 105, 112, 102?
She's tall.
Why do I see her camel toe when she's on television?
She was very tall. I don't know what she was wearing when you saw her.
She seems to have an enormous labia. I can see it through her pants.
Well, maybe that's why when she's so well.
She's doing that air violin. That little Asian girl's next to her, and all I'm looking at, I could see her vagina through her pants, and she's standing next to a young girl.
Well, maybe because she had all those children now. That's what they swung out on.
This is like
Tarzan. Whoa, here comes Jade. And Cheetah, too.
And so, yeah, she tried hard
That one looks a little more like Renee.
Yeah, one of them should look like Renee.
Oh, my God.
That guy's 106, and he's strong like bull. He's virile.
Stupid.
Did they use a donor?
What?
Do you think they used a donor?
No, I'm sure he was still able to get it. Well, maybe not. Maybe they used a donor.
You're like, ask me whatever you want. Donor.
No, you can ask. I don't know.
Bette Midler.
Sure. Bette Midler had both experiences with.
Yeah, she seems to be the one that would be the most like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, she was hot and cold, but she was great because I opened for her when they were campaigning for Obama, and I opened for her and I said, okay, how do you want me to introduce you? And she said, kidding, why don't you use my name? So I was like, what is it again?
That's good. Yeah.
And
but
she
I
looked at me like,
yeah, she was.
you don't know who I am?
Yeah, you're just a short lady from Hawaii. What do I know?
That's right.
But when I met, the reason I'm going back to Liza is because when I spoke with Liza in New York, and then we had like lunch at PJ Clark, she literally like adopted us. Like we couldn't get away from her. It was like, fuck, Liza's calling again. We can't get away from Liza. And it's one of those moments where you're like, where's the paparazzi when you need them? I'm changing a diaper at a booth with one of my kids, and Liza's sitting there, and you're like, this would be great. No, they got to catch me
Well,
running.
if this ever
with my
happens again, you could say, why were you so rude to my friend Frank?
I will. Because here's the thing. She spoke about seeing your show and how much she liked your show. She's been to your show. And then, so she was all smiles.
Okay, I'll put it this way. She probably didn't know who I was. I was just one of these people in line and taking a picture. She probably saw, I was at a drag. I was backstage at her show.
She thought you were Jimmy Fallon.
So Michael Jackson.
And Bette Midler, you had a nice experience?
Had a nice one that day. And then one after her concert where it was New Year's Eve that wasn't as nice because she didn't want to be bothered with anybody.
Do you do what I do? Do you do the research of the person and you think in your head? Because I do this going in like with Bette Midler. I'm like, all right, I got to think of a few buzzwords where she knows that I'm so dialed in to because I'm not her demo. I'm like a jock from New Jersey. So when I meet her, I go, you must be from Hawaii. You have such lovely hands when you dance. And then we were just in. We were in. Because my wife has this rule, never meet your heroes. And she's like, I don't, because my wife's obsessed with Bette Midler. And my rule is the opposite. Fuck that. We're going backstage. And if she's an asshole, I'm going to tell everybody I ever meet that person's an asshole.
Right.
So that's good that we get to air people out on this podcast. But mostly everybody's been very nice to you.
Mostly, yeah. Mostly.
Oh, very
mostly.
high.
Let's even forget
Joan Crawford eyebrows on that mostly.
No, the local
very high.
I think I got to be honest. I think even the local people have an attitude because of what I do, and they don't understand why people buy tickets to the show, and they don't.
I don't understand why people are buying show tickets to the straight people shows because they stink. Like this is a complete. You have how many people are in the show? Not including the dancers. How many impersonators are in the show?
Like 12.
Okay, and how many characters does each? Some guys do 3.
Yeah, some do 3.
I got to tell you, every time I've seen the show 3 times, and it's always fun, and everyone's clapping and they have a good time. Dolly Parton comes out the side door, you mix it up. Diana Ross comes down the center aisle, and guys chase somebody else up on stage. Britney Spears, by the way. From 50 feet, you would never know as Britney Spears.
You would never know. I had a military guy come out the other night and said, "Thank God for fluorescent lighting because I better look at my dates real close from now on." I
will say this though: Britney Spears has quads like a state trooper. You better tell that guy to stop doing squat thrust in the gym because Britney Spears, without those quads, I don't think there's a straight guy that would not hit on that guy in a bar in the Britney Spears. What does Britney Spears do to get those giant quads, like almost like bodybuilder quad? It's almost like he was a male bodybuilder and then went, fuck it, I'm going to be a Britney Spears impersonator.
I don't know what he does,
because from the like pubic bone up, it's a complete girl body, and then the quads, it's big like legs. He just carries people on his back.
Yeah, he looks like one of those girls that work out. I hate that look, like Madonna had for a while.
Madonna looks like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, I like a girl to look a little more fleshy.
You guys can laugh out loud. Everyone's holding in their laughs. That happens every podcast. So 12 guys in the show.
12 plus 8 dancers, 6 dancers, 2 swings.
2
swings, like if they're sick. Like if somebody dies
like a
in the
stand-in
number, somebody else could run it.
Is it like a stand-in a swing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It might, maybe you meant like swingers.
Swingers, that too. We throw the keys in the bowl before they get here. They just go home and do whatever they want.
Share you with Reba.
Yeah.
All right,
Ooh,
Brittany.
could you imagine?
You gotta
imagine Aretha and Tina.
How do you find
the sisters are doing it for themselves?
It's raining men, and it's raining men, and it's raining men. How do you find these guys? Where do you go to find drag queen talent? Obviously, there's drag queen bars. You go to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, and you can go to. Everyone's like, "Why does JJ know that?"
I've been doing it for 30 years, so everybody I've ever met, I was able to pick the cream of the crop because I knew who to call.
They come to you too, probably now.
And nowadays they'll come to me, but we haven't really hired anybody I haven't known. I think everybody I hired I knew.
Have you ever seen somebody on tape and you've said to the people around you, "We have to get that person"?
I was at a pageant, yes, the Janet Jackson tonight. I saw him at a pageant and did that. Reba was in my show years ago, and I said, "We need a Reba now for this number." We got him. In the last show, the producer, a lot of them he didn't want because he didn't want to pay a lot of them ask a lot of money. especially now with RuPaul's Drag Race out there and who's winning this and who's winning. Everybody got a title. And
Your Janet Jackson is in Drag Race
this season right now.
Yeah.
Coco Montrese is the name on the show.
He looks good. When I watched RuPaul's Drag Race for a while, it was like Grimace from McDonald's. These people were like monsters. Like your Janet Jackson is actually in drag, like an attractive lady.
And he's one of the oldest on the show, so it's kind of strange that
35, 36.
Well.
What's he pulling about 37?
Usually they're in the low 20s.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you on RuPaul's Drag Race?
No.
Okay, but you're doing toddlers and tiaras.
Yes. How
do you get hooked up with toddlers? Are you just because you're obsessed with it?
I did Millionaire Matchmaker on Bravo with Patty Stanger.
Okay, Patty Stanger. Nice? Mean?
To me, wonderful.
Okay, but if she's so great at matchmaking, how come she can't find a boyfriend?
Well, she does have a boyfriend now. And her answer will be because it's not about her. It's about her finding people.
That's what people say that don't have boyfriends.
Exactly. So that's like acting coaches. I don't believe anybody should ever go to an acting coach because an acting coach would be on TV.
If you could act.
Right.
Those who can do, those who can't teach.
There is no way proper to act. I'm sorry that you could act like a moron if they like you, then you're on television.
There's Adam Sandler movies.
Exactly. There's Kim Kardashian.
Boom. Boom. That petting zoo called the Kardashians.
That's right.
Ugh.
Oh, please! They're here right now, and it's mobbed. I'm saying it with jealousy. I want you to know. I'm not I'm not putting them down. I am envious as all hell that they figured that out.
It's so
I should have a show behind the Queens. If anybody's listening,
you should.
Because you wouldn't believe the crap that goes on behind stage here.
Can we produce it?
You can produce it.
I put a couple shows together in my day.
Don't you think that's a great name, Behind the Queens? It's not what happens on stage. It's back here.
You know what? This is amazing. You said this. I had an idea for a show. We have a production company, like Last Comic Standing and all, sports shows and stuff and action. And we had a show called Counterculture. I want to do a show about those ladies that do makeup at makeup counters because they're awful. Their faces, they're the worst at putting makeup on themselves, yet everybody sits in the chairs. Like what you did at the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Well, these women, it's like Persian women, and they just have like crazy, like Fred Gwynn from the Munsters faces, and people line up to sit down, but you couldn't clear. If you sit here, every product had to be cleared. It would have cost the show. It would have been like $150,000. Clinique, La Mer, every single product. Or you would have had to blur out the entire show except for the people's faces. So now this is maybe the way to do the show. We go behind the scenes with the divas.
Mm-hmm. Because nobody would believe it. They would swear it was scripted, and I guarantee you it's not. One day I just want to run my cameras.
Do you guys get in fights before the shows?
Oh my!
What's the most common argument?
I don't fight.
What's the most common argument between the guys?
Oh, it's nothing like me. The one fight yesterday was somebody told Reba he looked like Lincoln and left a penny on his station, which started World War III.
Wait, a penny on the stage?
Penny on his station.
I was going to say, that's how you broke your leg on
They go, when you're in your Reba makeup, you look like Lincoln from the movie. I was like, why do you people have to be so rude to each other? Then
which person said it?
Britney Spears.
Hold on a second. You got to tell Reba. Why don't you tell Britney Spears? Why do you have quads like a state trooper?
Well, what I told Britney Spears was, you're very fortunate in your life, so why are you putting down people that might not be as fortunate? And his number's going over better than yours right now, so I really wouldn't be making fun of these people.
Yeah. Britney Spears, by the way, needs to practice that whip a little more. She almost took an eye out. That's why one of the dancers has an eye patch.
That's right. And he's my line captain, so he's only got one left.
The guy's got one eye because Britney Spears doesn't know how to work the whip.
Is it wrong to nickname him Sandy Duncan?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Give him a wheat then. Have fun with it.
I did.
So they'll argue. So they get catty and they talk shit at each other.
I was in Hawaii. I was trying to take a once-in-a-lifetime vacation, and I'm in Hawaii, right? Just ready to get my luau and get my pig. And the next thing you know, they're roasting the pig, and I get a phone call going, the dancers are choking. Dolly Parton's wearing too much perfume. And I went, oh, maybe you didn't get the memo. I'm in frickin' Hawaii. And they're calling me to solve this problem.
Dolly Parton, there's 3 people in the show. Dolly Parton, the guy that does...
Madonna, Dolly Parton, and he does that famous Charles Aznavour number at the end, What Makes a Man a Man.
I have to tell you, every time I see the show, I forget What Makes a Man is coming. Mm-hmm. And I wish every fag basher and every homophobe in the world
to see that
could sit through that number. It is one of the most moving things. It's basically just during, I don't know the song. It's a French man, I'm assuming.
Charles Aznavour, a very famous French singer. Actually, Liza Minnelli does that song in concert as well.
Now, if only she could take off all of her makeup and hair, and we could see
don't have that much time.
That she's actually Jimmy Kimmel.
I think she's Chewy from Chelsea Lately. They got the same mustache if you look close.
I can't believe Liza was so mean. That's so
But years ago,
funny.
she was nice to me, so I remember. So she wanted it her way, and she just turned into.
How
like
long
a
ago
bit
was
of a-
this?
Last year.
Do you think it was post-surgery? Maybe a little at that pharmacy counter you were talking about?
I don't know. But the thing is, I even have a picture of it. I'll show you on the wall right there. She just was bitter.
I met Liza before she had her hips done.
Yes, I met her years ago, and she was nice then, but this time was a bad experience.
Every doctor that she went, her and her manager, the guy that does her show, said the doctors they go to say you got to take 6 months off, and she didn't want to take time off. She wanted to do the
Here's
surgery.
the picture. She just bitter. Like, do I have to take this picture?
You're like a handsome Italian guy.
Yeah, you think?
I'm looking at like Joan Rivers. You still have your eye makeup on.
Liza was in a meet and greet where she said, I will meet and greet 30 people. She counted 30 people, and there was probably, I'm not going to exaggerate, 38 people. So when she got to 30, those last 8 people just got attitude from her. And it was and they threw me in just because they knew who I was and Celine Dion is amazing.
Really?
Celine Dion was amazing.
Now, is this spoken as a gay man? And
She was so nice. No,
because you want to be
it was
her?
the week after I saw Cher. And
right.
Cher was just very put off. Liza Minnelli was a C word. And
See, I had the opposite experience.
Okay.
I met Liza, and she
I'm sure
she adopted
even the
me.
same thing with Cher.
And you're like in real life, you're.
You could show him my picture with my idol.
So Liza was a cunt.
Yes.
See, when I met Liza,
I didn't know you could say that word, or I would have said it.
oh, we could say it. You do
She's
say
a
whatever you
cunt.
want. When I met her, she like adopted us.
Yes, I remember the old
Is it because
Liza.
she's like a